Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz. Guys, I'm here to bring you the results of the 5-on-5 in what I called the Survivor Series of boxing. The results are in. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, most of you know the results already, but I'm here to bring it to you on Miracle Boy Boxing. And what was a unique and organic event? Nothing like this has ever taken place in the sport of boxing, where you got 5 of the very best on one side and then 5 of the very best on the other, going at it in a box-off spectacle. And the results are, well, Eddie Hearn took a bad beating all night. It was completely one-sided. It was 0 wins for Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. Frank Warren of Queensberry took all the wins. All his fighters prevailed. Now, all of the fights were very competitive. Very competitive. The least competitive was the last one, the heavyweights. The main event was Shang and Wilder. I'll get into that in a little bit later. The rest were really good. The first one that took place was Raymond Ford defending his WBA featherweight strap against Nick Ball in what was the fight of the night. These two guys, man, throwed a lot of punches, a lot of offense, good counter shots. Both guys busting each other up with shots. Raymond Ford with swelling around his eyes. Not to the point where they were swollen shut, but they were a bit puffy. Nick Ball busted those. It was both guys grinding it out, man, in a really razor-thin fight. It was a really close fight. Nick Ball really got hurt in that last round when Ford was letting his hands go. Both guys showed that they wanted to fight. Close fight, man. Close fight. Nick Ball was awarded the split decision in the fight. Ford even said the better man won. So it was a close fight. Could have gone either way for me. But congratulations to Nick Ball. For Queensberry Promotions, Frank Warren with the decision win. Hamzat Sharis, current 160-pound former world champion, man. He's going to be a future world champion. He's got the punching power, the skills, the offense, the mean intentions. Like I said in my past video, he's got the combination of David Benavidez, of Virgil Ortiz, and of Deontay Wilder. Hamza is a very talented fighter. He's a problem at 160, and he showed it tonight against Austin Williams, stopping Austin Williams in 11 rounds in a very competitive fight. Both guys going back and forth, landing good shots. But Hamza was just a bit too much on the offense, the counters, the sharpness, the short shots. Just the good speed, the jab. He has a power jab. And Hamza just showed who was the better fighter, man, and stopping Austin Williams in a very, very good fight. And then Daniel Dubois stopping Filip Hrgović, former bronze medalist from the Olympics. He stopped Filip Hrgović in 8 rounds due to cuts that the doctor didn't allow it to go on further. And prior to the stoppage, man, it was a good fight. Both guys landing good shots. Filip Hrgović landing repeated right hands on Dubois. Dubois looked like he didn't have any answers with those right hands. Couldn't do anything but just take them and eat them. And he showed a good chin. He showed tremendous heart. By taking those shots and weathering that storm and being able to be patient and stay composed and stick to the game plan, use his jab, use the right hand, use his legs like how he was doing it against Jared Big Baby Miller. And eventually, the cuts started to come. Filip Hrgović was getting busted up, both cuts on both eyes, bleeding pretty badly. And like around the 6-7 round, Filip start to tire. And it was just a matter of time. Like I said, the cuts didn't make a difference in the fight. The stoppage of the cuts, because prior to the stoppage of the cuts, Philip was slowing down very, very, um, very badly. All the punches from Daniel the Boys was landing cleanly now. The left hooks, the right hands. You saw it. It was just a matter of time where the Boys would have really hurt Philip and knock him out um, viciously. Everything was landing. Philip's head was just snapping back and forth from vicious right hands and left hooks. And the doctor stopping the fight on cuts was the best thing to happen to Philip, because it was just getting worse. And Daniel Boys would eventually stop him if the doctor didn't stop him. So, tremendous performance by Daniel the Boys. I said in my comment section on social media, on Facebook, I said that I like this for Daniel, especially coming off of those two losses to Joe and Usyk. We all knew that he's a big heavyweight, strong heavyweight, hard punching heavyweight. But in the fights with Joe and Usyk, in the biggest fights of his career, he came up short. But coming off now back-to-back solid wins against Jared Big Miller and now Filip Hrgovic, he stopped both guys. And this is what he's needed for his career after those two losses. He's no longer labeled a hype job. He's got 2 solid wins now. Right now, he's got one of the best resumes in the division, and at only 26, it's crazy that Daniel the Boys is only 26. What a career so far. I'm interested to see who he fights next, man. And they're saying now is Anthony Joshua for Wembley, but we'll see. But Daniel the Boys, he's a live dog, and he's a challenge for anybody in the heavyweight division. And I'm happy for Daniel the Boy. He's a good fighter, good man. May blessings be upon him in his career, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy for him. He deserved this, especially after those 2 losses, man. He deserved what he's getting right now, and all the attention. And yeah, kudos to Daniel the Boys. Philip will be back, though. It's not the end of his career. First loss of his career, and he's a good fighter as well. So we'll see what's next for Filip Hrgovic besides going back to the drawing board. Next fight was Willie Hutchinson versus Craig Richards. Willie Hutchinson defeated Craig by unanimous decision in a pretty good fight. Not the best fight you'll see, but Willie Hutchinson, man, a lot of punches, a lot of combinations. Craig Richards just not doing much offense. Willie just was doing whatever he wanted to do with him, and it's obviously you saw who the better man was that night in that fight. Willie Hutchinson just pretty much outclassed Craig Richards. Unanimous decision. Craig Richards showed the heart, good chin. He had some moments where he landed some good shots and good right hands, but it was just not enough. Willie Hutchinson took the decision by unanimous decision in a pretty clear one-sided fight. And the main event between 2 heavyweight bangers, 2 of the hardest punchers in the heavyweight division, Shelly Big Bang Chang out of China versus Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. The Bomb Squad. Unfortunately, Bomb Squad, I think this is the end for Bomb Squad. I've been a fan of Deontay Wilder. I've been following Deontay Wilder before he was heavyweight champion. I remember when I bumped into a video of him and I saw his record, and I was like, I think Wilder, he was like 26-0 with 26 KOs, and I was like, what the hell? Who's this guy? And when I saw highlights of him, I said, whoa, he's knocking everybody out. He hits very hard. He's got a mean right hand. And when he throws it, his mean intentions, vicious. And he, at that time, he was not fighting nobody. He was just knocking out everybody. You called them tomato cans, taxi drivers, whatever. Is when he fought Bermane Stiverne. He became the heavyweight champion of the world, and then had 10 title defenses. Was able to defend the title, WBC heavyweight title, 10 times, with vicious knockouts, sensational wins over Luis Ortiz. Got a draw with Tyson Fury. 3 epic fights with Fury. 2 excellent wins over Luis Ortiz. Knocking up Bermane Stiverne that rematch easily, knocking out Helenius. known for his highlight reel knockouts and defending the WBC heavyweight title 3 times and giving 3 tremendous fights to Fury, having 3 tremendous fights to Fury. Uh, in the Joseph Parker fight, he showed all of us and whoever is fans of Deontay Wilder that he was no longer he was in there not he did not want to fight anymore. It was like, okay, what's going on? We all knew he was not the best boxer, no skills, nothing, just hard punching power, especially with that right hand, to where you could change a fight at any punch with it at any time. But not saying he would have beat Parker. He would have given Parker a hell of a fight if he had let his hands go. If this was Wilder, if the Wilder that was WBC champion before the Fury fight was in there with Parker and was in there with Sean, not saying Wilder would have beaten both guys, but he would have given them hell. Because Wilder, even though he didn't have any skills, he was throwing those haymakers and throwing that right hand with mean intentions because he always believed in his power. So he was throwing it, and he was a man on a mission. Because remember, Wilder boxed not because he wanted to box. He boxed to raise money to help his daughter, who was dealing with a condition, and I'm pretty sure I think she's still dealing with that condition, to raise money for that condition, so that he can help his daughter. Bronze medalist, started boxing late, so pro boxing was not in the plans, but because of his daughter's condition, he chose boxing as an outlet to raise money and make money, and he did. He became heavyweight champion. He defended it 10 times, made millions of dollars, and of course, not with the Saudi money. These past two fights where he lost to Parker and Sean. He made his money. He made some music now. He's been doing some music lately. I'm sure Wilder will do something after boxing, and I'm sure he'll have a life after boxing. I'm sure he made some investments. But like I said in my comment section, fighting Sean was supposed to be an easier fight than in Luis Ortiz and Fury for Wilder, because Wilder was fighting a fighter in Sean who was not using his feet and giving angles. He was right in front of him all night. And I'm like, Wilder, why is Wilder not throwing the damn right hand? If this was 5 years ago, before the Fury fight, Wilder would have been not hesitant with that right hand. Now, in the round prior to when he got stopped, in the 5th round by Sean, Wilder landed that right hand. He was letting it go more often. And it landed. And we saw a glimpse of Wilder Wilder saw that he was landing and he kept throwing it and kept throwing it. And Sean felt it. He was backing up. But we needed to see way more than that. Because Wilder would have shown us 5 years ago, before the Fury fight, that, hey, I'm throwing this right hand. I'm not going to stop. He just couldn't pull the trigger prior to that and after. He was just waiting and waiting and waiting. You got a man right in front of you who you would have hit before the Fury fights while you were champion in a dime. Whether it's going to hurt him or not, likely it will. Sean was in position for the right hand all night. Just that Wilder was just too tentative, gun shy, and he paid for it. He threw the right hand. He took a chance, threw the right hand. Sean countered with a right hook. Sean is a very good counter puncher. Not only a boxer puncher, but a very good counter puncher. And the mistake was made, and Wilder got caught with a right hook coming in, and that was that. Turned his back, saying something to the referee, and here comes Sean running right to him with a right hook. Down goes Wilder, flat on his back, head bouncing off the canvas, vicious KO. Such a sad scene for one of the hardest punchers in boxing, period. To see him get knocked out like that. And if this is the end of the line for Wilder, it's a shame he goes out like that, but it is what it is. Nothing to take away from Sean. He did what he had to do. He got the knockout, and I'm interested to see who he fights next. He's a very good heavyweight, very good fighter. And this is likely the end for Wilder, man. Wilder needs to retire. As a fan, he needs to retire ASAP. I just don't want to see him become a stepping stone, man. From a guy knocking out opponents viciously and becoming champion and defending it 10 times to getting floored like that, it's not good. It's not good. For Wilder's health, it's not good. He needs to retire, enjoy his money, enjoy life. And you're an overachiever. You've done a lot in boxing with your career. You surpass expectation because you did not want to box because you just wanted to box. No, you boxed because you were trying to raise money for your daughter's condition. You did. You made money. You won the world title. You made 10 titles. You defended it 10 times. You're an overachiever. And then no skills, just power. Nothing. Wilder needs to have his he needs to keep his head held high and just keep it moving, man. You had a good career, and it's done. It's done. You're almost 40 years old, and it's done. But the results, man. Sean stops Wilder and gives Queensberry Frank Warren the clean sweep. Clean sweep. Frank Warren was awarded a $3 million check and a big 5-on-5 boxing glove. Frank Warren said there will be more of this 5-on-5 in the future. I'm sure Eddie Hearn is gonna bring a better artillery than he did. Not saying the artillery that he had was bad. It's just that, hey, Frank had it for him tonight, and more events like this is should be brought back. Is very exciting because you just don't know what's gonna happen. That pressure of fighting for a team and you're a promoter, that's pressure. You can imagine the pressure on the fighters tonight, on each side from Eddie and Frank. But that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. It was a tremendous night of boxing, regardless of the clean sweep. And I'm looking forward to the next 5-on-5. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Wilson Cruz. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.